not only Mike Sosnowski, but also Asa Sargent and Bob McCarthy and Mr. Ryan and so forth. We can only impress upon them that as a neighborhood, we are very concerned about this plan and the Gateway City plan. The current plan is not advantageous to the neighborhood. 100% affordable housing needs to be strongly reconsidered. We need to rethink that. The Gateway project affects all of Salem, not just the Bridge Street neighborhood. Spread the word, talk to your councilors, and I'm sure the other councilors all have thoughts on it. But at the end of the day, and I look at where my house is, I look at the money that I put into my house, I look at the value of my house today, and that's what's missing in a lot of this planning. As a homeowner, I look at a lot of options about building a home, rentals, and affordable housing. They talk about a neighborhood that has multiple families. That's a little tired, but we're proud of our neighborhood. I like my neighborhood. It's my Chestnut Street. But I look at this, and nowhere in this 127-page document does it talk about whatever is in here is going to increase the value of my home in your home. I don't see any of that. It's missing. You might have got Phil Bedard as a partner had I seen what the value of my home would have increased. I'd like for the appropriate people in these towns, and maybe the city planner could get involved, and look at the gateway cities, look at the projects that have been initiated, and give me the figures that says, oh, by the way, Phil, you shouldn't be concerned. The neighborhoods around these projects, the value of those homes have increased. I take a look at what I told you earlier was a picture. It was ink on paper. What does that picture look like 10 years later? What are the value of those homes and those developments 10 years later? That's what concerns me. What we decide today will affect us not 1 year from now, 2 years from now, but going forward. We talk about administrations that are allowing the funding and control the funding, and rightfully so, to take care of these projects. Administrations come and go. When projects are built and times are tough, projects get cut. Monies don't get distributed to towns. Infrastructures get stressed. That's what happens. I'm going to be in my house for the next 20 years. I promised my wife anyway. For the next 20 years, I will continue to pay my taxes. I'll continue to make it look the way it looks. But I have no guarantees that what happens around me will be the same. Affordable housing, when you look at it, it's not owned. The city owns it, the state may have part of it, but there's no true ownership of it. We, as homeowners, know what true ownership means, and we take care of our homes. And granted, we work hard every day, and that house may look tired from time to time, but we keep slugging it out, and we do the best we can. So with that said, again, I'm not looking for a political office anywhere, but this is just a concerned citizen that's looking at the neighborhood. Thank you. Breaking Clutch is here.
I mean, because nobody is affected more than my husband and I. 50% of my property line abuts Breaking Clutch.
Mr. Hilton?
Let me answer that in a different way. Right? Again, this is just like Phil was saying. This is only on paper.
It's all right.
This is not happening yet. And this was hypothetical. All right? Should they want to sell their property, this is what could happen. Right? This is not saying it's going to happen. However, relative to certain things in that particular regard, I asked specifically at one of the meetings, I asked Lynn Duncan, why are you going so deep off of Bridge Street when in fact it's Bridge Street that we are trying to shape up? Because in fact it's Bridge Street that people had the perception of taking down the neighborhoods. Whether that's true or not true, that would be an opinion. I think now with the beautiful Bridge Street that we've had, and thank you, Mayor, for helping get that done, all right? We are on a good road here. Another example of going too far back off of Bridge Street, because let me stay on course here. I asked, why did you have to come all the way down to East Collins Street? Why couldn't you, if you wanted to do, if Breaking Clutch were to sell, why can't you just come the median width back from Bridge Street back, stop there, and let the rest of it be the R2 that the rest of the neighborhood is. That comment was ignored in the following meeting. The same thing happened in a stretch of land between Bella Street and
I don't have any more.
I think it was Barton Street, I think it was. They wanted to take some of those properties that are in there, and that's a good mix. There's some residential, there's some commercial, but they wanted to take it all the way down to Warner Street. You're going into neighborhoods there. I don't want that. If you want it, I am totally in support of helping to change the zone so that we give the incentives to the developers to come in to kind of do a facelift up and down Bridge Street. I have no problem with that. Just don't go into the neighborhoods. I mean, when you start going way deep into the neighborhoods, you've crossed the line. And that's when I'm going to start to fight, because we need to protect our neighbors. We need to protect what we have grown up with. I'm like Phil, I've lived right here. I played here as a kid, 65 years ago, all right? I don't want to tell everybody how old I am, but basically this is my neighborhood. I know what this is all about, and I want to protect the neighbors. I do want to see Bridge Street redone because, quite honestly, we're on a roll. Let's keep it going. Wonderful things can happen, but keep it on Bridge Street, and let's use just essentially whatever the median width back from that is for one lot deep. Let's fix that spot. Let's not go all the way way down here, all the way down here basically to Collins Street. That makes no sense to me. Right. Toward that end, before I go too much further here, there's another gentleman that wants to just add a few things, because this is the man I told you about earlier, Jim Treadwell. He is a certified planner. He is the man that, rather than guess what a certain statement would mean, he can actually tell you the laws as to what it actually is. Let me give you a little background of what Jim is. He's a certified city planner. He's a member of the AICP, which is the American Institute of Certified Planners, Master of City and Regional Planning, and he had a degree from the University of North Carolina. His professional experiences are, he was the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development and the United States Department of Commerce as urban planner and environmental specialist, planning and environmental assessment consultant in Montgomery County, PA, and Newcastle County, Delaware, and with the city of Wilmington, Delaware. So this man doesn't read a piece of paper like I might, because it's very possible I could read something and misinterpret it. This man, when he reads it, he knows what he's talking about. Jim, could you come forward, please?